As a kid, there was nothing more I loved than playing Mario games. If I was in school, I was only thinking about Mario. When I was dreaming, it was always about Mario. When I was playing other video games, I wished I was playing Mario. You get it now?
I might have been a tad over-obsessed, but I grew up with Mario. Even the show, which was well before my time.
Mama? Mama Luigi?
In short, I've always been a huge Mario fan. And back in 2020, LEGO and Nintendo partnered together to release something that would have blown my innocent prepubescent mind. LEGO Mario. I had dreamed of this stuff for as long as I could remember. And while this isn't exactly what I had in mind, the kid version of me would have lost his shit if he didn't get a bunch of this stuff for Christmas. And nowadays, I'm a full-blown adult. At least that's what I tell myself. I don't have much interest in playing with toys. And I definitely don't have the space to set up a bunch of these LEGO sets on display. The LEGO NES did look pretty interesting to me, but while I did grow up playing some NES games, I never actually owned one of the systems myself. And this set was pretty expensive, so I passed on it. Nintendo continued to release expansion sets for their LEGO Super Mario brand, and my parents continued to be glad I was no longer a whiny kid that would beg to have each and every single one, until eventually the LEGO Super Mario 64 ? Block. One of my favorite games growing up as a kid now had a special LEGO set designed around it. It was expensive, it was beautiful, it was perfect for display, designed for a more mature audience, and I pre-ordered it the second it was available. It had been years since I had purchased or put together any LEGO. One of my close friends actually still buys those expensive Star Wars ships. He's got a LEGO Star Destroyer that cost him over like $800, and it's just sitting in a box in his room. But it's nice to see that LEGO hasn't forgotten about all the kids who grew up playing with their bricks, and they design more mature and intricate LEGO sets for that audience. Many of the classic sets were designed for ages 4 to 99 after all. Average life expectancy shot up when LEGO removed this limit. But how well does LEGO know Mario? Surely not better than me. How much detail could they possibly pack into this block? How accurate is it? I mean, they didn't even use the right punctuation here. Mario 64 didn't have any question mark blocks in it. Well, let's find out if you're getting your money's worth. But to answer that, we need to talk about parallel universes. That's a joke. If you know, you know. Actually, just before we start, I'm playing the 3D All-Stars version of Mario 64, and I'm realizing that all this footage looks kinda dated. I'm sure I can get something a little better to look at. Yeah, that'll do. In Super Mario 64, each level is designed like a diorama. The development team wanted to create fun and interesting areas for the player to explore. They made tall levels, wide levels, small levels, and big levels, all with unique themes and designs. The LEGO team took this idea and decided to make mini LEGO dioramas of some of the most iconic and diverse levels from the game. And yes, the LEGO team was fully aware that the question mark block didn't make an appearance in Super Mario 64. Replacing it in this game were the exclamation point blocks, which held power-ups, coins, and in some cases, stars. The decision was made to use the question mark block instead because it's, well, much more iconic, with further reasoning stating that you never know what you'll find inside a question mark block, and that surprise suits the unsuspecting nature of the LEGO set. So fine, LEGO design team, you get a pass on this one. Well, how about we take a look at that surprise then? Mario would probably just punch the bottom, but that may cause some issues for us. The back part opens slightly, allowing us to flip over the top panel, revealing some familiar sights. Mini LEGO dioramas of 4 important locations from the game. And of course, it only seems fitting to start from where it all begins. At the very top here, we have Peach's Castle, the first location any player would see when they start the game. Mario receives a letter from the princess promising a sweet, delicious cake, and then takes the green pipe express to get there. This pipe then vanishes after the beginning cutscene, but remains here on the LEGO set. Immediately, you notice a distinct lack of trees and slopes. The game had this area designed as a safe space to practice Mario's movement. They added water to swim in, slopes to slide on, trees to climb. They even tossed a 1-up in this tree here. We've only got 2 trees and no slopes on the Lego set. Maybe because it has to be able to fold? The castle mode is still here, but the waterfall is gone. And the mode itself can be drained in the game, but I understand why it isn't able to drain in the Lego set. What I don't understand is why the cannon isn't here though. And there should be this cannon that only opens after you collect every star in the game. It's pretty iconic, at least to me, since I had always wondered how to unlock it as a kid. It was a mystery that always gnawed at me for years of my youth. And we'll come back to that cannon in a second. And to the right of the castle entrance should be a bridge that goes over some water leading to a little lake. And either the bridge or lake would fit into the Lego set, I guess. That lake was probably where new players first learned how to swim. It's also where Dire Docks would poop you out if you got sucked into this black hole. Shame, I guess that level just has to not do that anymore.
The path continues past the bridge and there's this ramp going down into the water. The ramp isn't on the Lego set, but we do have the little path here.
Of course, we then have the main bridge towards the castle's front entrance. This is where Mario first meets Lakitu. It's easy to forget this guy, but he's technically there throughout the whole adventure, filming everything Mario does.
And I mean everything.
It's nice to see he wasn't forgotten in this Lego set. Of course, Mario and Peach are also here. All these mini characters are super minimalistic, but you can very easily tell who each and every one of these characters are.
I guess mini Lego Mario does kind of look like low poly Mario. Mini Lego Peach's hair isn't even growing from her head, it's coming from her butt. I guess it's more like a tail.
So the castle grounds are missing some interesting features, but let's take a look at the castle itself. The stained glass of Princess Peach we see above the front entrance is clearly here on the Lego set. They even have a custom block made just for this one piece. On top of the castle we see 4 spires on each corner, all of which have flags. Of course, to get up here, we're going to need to use that cannon from earlier. Well, there technically is a way you can get to the castle rooftop without it, but it's not like the Lego set has these hills either. In any case, the castle roof is hiding some extra secrets. A red exclamation point block, which holds the wing cap, 3 1-ups, and most importantly is Yoshi himself, who comes to greet you after collecting all 120 stars. Yoshi gives the player a message of thanks from the development team, and then gives you like 100 lives before leaping off into the distance.
Thanks. I totally needed these now that I've done everything in the game.
This also changes Mario's triple jump to have these sparkles and makes Mario bounce at the end, so that's kinda neat, I guess. No exclamation point block or random 1-ups on the Lego, but Yoshi is indeed just chilling on top of the castle. Normally Yoshi isn't here unless you collect all 120 stars, but he is shown taking a nap up here in the beginning of the DS version of Mario 64. Of course, the most iconic part of Peach's castle was always the inside. It's how you traverse from level to level. And they actually accounted for this on the Lego set. You can lift off this front piece, revealing the castle lobby. You got the checkerboard floor, the red stairs.
They tried to mimic the landscape design of the walls.
They actually packed a few cool details in here. The front mat looks a little off for some reason. If you collect enough stars, a light shines down onto this mat, guiding the player to a secret level. We're missing some stairs on the left and right, and about 8 doors leading to different areas here, but the door leading to the upper part of the castle is still here though. Instead of all the other doors, we get to see portraits on the Lego set, which are all custom pieces. Now these famous pieces of art take Mario to entirely different worlds. Some metaphor for how art can transport the beholder to new planes of existence or some crap, I guess. Cool Mountain on the left, Lethal Lava Land in the middle, and Bob-Omb Battlefield on the right. In the game, Bob-Omb Battlefield should actually be on the left, Cool Mountain just to the right of that, and Lethal Lava Land in the basement. But the placement on the Lego set references their placement on the Lego set itself. So they took a few liberties here and there, but they got some of the coolest and most important details down. Lego Peach's castle is pretty cool, so let's jump into one of these paintings, shall we? Bob-Omb Battlefield is the first level that players are able to explore. Mario starts around this cannon over here, though some of our pink friends are missing. Generic enemies, random blocks, coins, signposts, none of these really make an appearance on the Lego set really, which I entirely understand. At the start of the level, Mario is encouraged to follow this path here, But let's detour to the left first. Mario runs under a bridge to discover a sealed gate and a steep slope.
Koopa the Quick likes to use this slope to cheat in his race.
It's a dead end for most players, but the details are still here in the LEGO set. You go under the bridge, and you have the slope, as well as the, well, you can't see the gate here, but you can use your imagination, I guess. Returning back to the main path, you may find these little conveyor platforms are missing in the LEGO set. I never liked using them in the game anyways. Past the wooden ramp, you can see this little yellow circle on the LEGO set, and this represents a flower patch in the game. This isn't just any flower patch, however, but I'll come back to this later. First, let's take a look at this gray block. It's supposed to represent the cannon that can fire you to the floating island. I guess they couldn't fit the full-size cannons here, because there are clearly some cannons on the LEGO set, and this one's just a gray block, but hey, whatever. The floating island should have its own cannon, as well as a tree and 2 exclamation point blocks, one yellow and one red. Only the tree and the red block made it into the LEGO. Back on the ground, we have a tree, just one, I guess. There's a lot more in the game, obviously. I don't really see anything special about this tree, but it's there. If we continue to follow the path, we will eventually encounter the dreaded Chain Chomp. I don't know who tied him to this post, but if you free him, he'll let you collect the star in his cage. Past the Chain Chomp is the tilting bridge. The LEGO version does not tilt, in case you wondered. It's not really suspended on any kind of pillar. Just past the bridge, we can encounter these 4 posts. 2 for the LEGO. If Mario runs around these a few times, they'll spit some coins out for him. We then encounter a second yellow circle. This is another flower patch. These 2 flower patches aren't the only ones in the level, but they are the most special, because these 2 are directly connected. If Mario stands in one, he'll be warped right to the other, which is pretty cool. Now over near the second flower patch, we are missing an exclamation point block, but we do have one cannon here that Mario should be able to fire himself out of. Down this slope is the other side of the gate we encountered at the beginning. You can open it from this side. Finally, we have these gates and this path that takes us up the mountain. The LEGO set has to take some liberties here. We have a black ball to represent these 3 guys that just roll back and forth all day.
Yeah, at least I always thought it was 3, but apparently it's 2 on the first star and it changes to 3 afterwards.
To the side is this green slope that Mario can slide on. There should be a red coin on there somewhere. If we continue up the normal path, we eventually encounter this cannon.
Well, there's a few cannons you encounter while climbing the mountain. The first is this one around the backside, which is missing from the LEGO set. As you continue to dodge past metal balls from this little, cave, divot, I'm not exactly sure what you'd call this, but it is missing from the LEGO set.
You'll eventually encounter another cannon, which is shown quite clearly here. A short walk over this wooden plank reveals another cannon, though this one isn't present in LEGO form. And there aren't a bunch of black balls rolling down the side of the mountain. Like I said, the LEGO set takes some liberties with the mountain itself, but it does have some of the most important details. Skipping up to the top, we have King Bob-Omb himself waiting to face Mario in combat. His glorious mustache and crown make for an intimidating sight, if only he weren't a complete pushover. In general, I think they did a wonderful job with Bob-Omb Battlefield. All the iconic sites are here, everything else is just nitpicking, really. So let's move on to the next area. Mario can enter Cool Mountain as soon as he collects 3 stars. And this time, rather than climbing a mountain, Mario starts at the very top. And before I get started here, I just want to point out these slopes. Actually, thinking about it now, Mario 64 really loved slopes, didn't it? It's not important, I'm just noticing it now, I guess. You usually slide down and around the mountain to reach the bottom, but the orientation on the LEGO set just has these slopes going down and down. Not really down and around. Zipping back up to the top, we see this little hut with a chimney. It's the first place most players will check out, but we're gonna save it for later. Above the hut is a baby penguin, which Mario can reunite with its mother, or drop it off into the abyss. Either scenario can be reenacted on the LEGO set. Past baby penguin is a snowman's body.
At least that's probably what this tiny little LEGO piece is.
This guy will follow you down the hill, so you can bring him to a snowman head, or let it fall into the abyss as well. The choice is yours. Halfway down the slope is a little stone area you can explore. We're missing a blue coin switch here, but the LEGO set accurately shows that this path leads to there's supposed to be a broken bridge around here. Well, the ice pillar is above here though,
even if it is missing the yellow exclamation point block.
And not too far below that is this bridge with 2 leaping snowmen. Which, side note, I always hated these guys. I mean, who in their right mind jumps on a bridge?
I might have repressed some bridge trauma when I was a kid.
Then there's these wooden ramps leading down to another snow hut, which normally has another baby penguin on top.
but, wait, no! That was embarrassing. Where was I? Right, the Lego set. You can kind of make out the ramps here, and the huts there. Well, they're lacking a baby penguin, but they did their best to get everything else right. Around the side is a cannon and this snow lift platform thing that always terrified me every time I stepped on it. They even put ropes there in the Lego set. No floating island in the middle though. If you shoot yourself to the other side via cannon... You gotta be kidding me. You know what? I'll just take the shortcut. You can reach the game's wall jumping tutorial. Although seriously, weirdest place to hide one of your movement tutorials. This area doesn't really come through on the Lego set. There's no walls or platforms to jump off of, and there's no cannons either. But back towards that hut we came across on the lower level, we can see Mama Penguin sitting in a little pond. They pushed her all the way around the corner in the Lego version. I guess they didn't have much room otherwise. To the right of this is a small broken bridge. This bridge is another warp point, taking you right back up to the top with another broken yeah, no, that one's not on Lego either. Okay, let's finally enter this hut at the very top. Inside is the iconic snow slide, and they didn't forget this in Lego form either. This side of the mountain pops off to reveal the inside, and you can see all the slides there. You're gonna have to use your imagination a little with this one. I mean, they got the penguins, the snowmen, the slides. All the most important elements of Cool Mountain are here, except the wall jump area, I guess. But they did a pretty good job in their depiction of this level. So now we can move on to the final area.
Let's go!
In the depths of the castle's basement, Mario can enter Lethal Lava Land. They even put it underneath the castle on the Lego set, which I thought was pretty cool. Mario can travel here as soon as he collects 8 stars, and then defeats Bowser and grabs a key. Because of the awkward position on this Lego set, it's a little difficult to get good footage of this area, so bear with me here. Mario starts the level around this part. Lego Lethal Lava Land is missing quite a few platforms actually. They do have this curved platform near the start, but they're missing the one that has the red exclamation point block on it. But they do have this bridge, and it even moves like in the game. Kinda. And just past that is Mr. I, which you can mug by running around him a few times. He's got quite a few coins on him. There's actually 2 of this guy in the level, but only one of them made it onto the Lego set. Cyclopses are hot, right? The platforms which rise from and sink into the lava all have this diamond pattern on them, so they have custom designed Lego bricks to represent them. They even have another custom brick for the Bowser slide puzzle. Normally you collect 8 red coins on this thing, but if the puzzle completes itself, it will give you some extra coins. Then the Lego set slaps this big pillar in the way. It has one on each side to support the castle part on top. This unfortunately cuts into some of our level here. The spinning platform with a flamethrower on it is gone, for example. We can still see some more diamond platforms as well as the big bully. If you push this guy into the lava, Mario gets another star. They even included a star here in Lego form, and it's the only one that the Lego set has you place, oddly enough. There's supposed to be another platform taking you to more bullies, but again, the Lego set needed to make some cuts. Basically everything in the top right is gone, including the squiggly platform. We have a few more platforms on our dear Lego set, but most importantly, we got these black gates in this bottom right corner. Past them is a rolling pin thingy. Mario can relive his party nightmares to make his way across the other side and receive another star. This thing even moves in Lego form, which is pretty cool. And finally we have the centerpiece, this big spinning volcano that spits out fire. And of course the Lego volcano spins too, doesn't spit out fire though. But this thing is more notable for another reason. If we offer ourselves as a virgin sacrifice to the volcano, the gods take pity on us and deliver us to a secret area, complete with magic floating platforms. And amazingly, if we lift off the volcano on our Lego set, we get to see, nothing. Really? Use your imagination. Of course, they couldn't fit an entire secret area here, though it is kind of unfortunate. Lethal Lava Land suffered some hits, but you got the volcano, the bully, the rolling pin, Mr. I, even the Bowser slide puzzle. Plus, it's the only part of the set that has a star on display, so that's kinda neat. And technically, the star shouldn't actually appear until after you knock the bully off into his fiery doom, so maybe it's not super accurate. But hey, nitpicking, right? For how small they made everything, they jam-packed this Lego set with tons of detail. But it does feel like they're missing something, you know? I guess you never really know what surprises a question mark block holds, right? Of course, King Bowser himself makes an appearance in this secret compartment. He's definitely the most detailed figure in the set. You can even
push down on the platform he stands on to reveal another secret compartment down below. This one's a spinning platform that acts as Bowser's boss arena. Mario can stand on the platform and you can hook Bowser's tail on this hook thingy, and then you can spin him around to your heart's content. Although there's no bombs to throw him into here, so this fight's gonna go on forever. Normally Mario has a whole level to go through before fighting Bowser, but we just skipped the area in Lego form. Which honestly isn't a bad thing. I mean, the whole thing I never understood about these Bowser levels is who made them. Like, the paintings teleport you to other worlds, right? That much I can understand. But you don't get to the Bowser levels through the paintings. You get them, I mean, the first one is just a trapdoor, right? And it takes you to this whole death trap that's just supposed to be like a part of the castle's infrastructure? Who thought it was a good idea to install this? I don't know. Yeah, anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. If you have Lego Mario, not the little guy, but the big one. And then there's more secrets for you to discover on the Lego set. The instruction booklet gives you some clues to find 10 power stars. You have to scan this mat, which they call the action brick, to start, and that probably explains why they made it look different here, since it needs to have some code in it or something. I don't have Lego Mario, so I can't test any of it, but it's a cool idea. And apparently, L is real, since Lego Luigi will serve the same purpose. All in all, I'm in love with this little Lego set. It was super fun to build, but it's also just as fun to look at. There's so many little secrets tucked inside, and discovering each one is such a joy. Plus, it just looks like a plain old question mark block on your shelf, so it's a super cool display item. Obviously, if you don't care for display items or Mario 64, then you won't care about this block, but to me, this is by far the coolest Lego set I have ever owned or put together. So many nostalgic memories just packed into a tiny little block, and I love it. Of course, if you enjoy the video, then thank you, as it means the world to me. I appreciate you and everything you do. Ciao.
Bye-bye.